Kamala Harris at a Wall Street fundraiser said she is ready to support crypto. This is big news. This is the first time she's spoken publicly about the asset class. I'll give you the details. And crypto venture capital firms are on a fundraising spree, raising billions of dollars. And you know where that money's going to go, straight into the crypto market. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as a thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, the big news of the day is that Kamala Harris, while speaking to a Wall Street crowd doing a fundraiser, said she's ready to encourage crypto businesses while protecting consumers. Now, this is coming from a credible source. It's coming from a Bloomberg reporter who was there, and she shared the details. Let me give you the quick TLDR, then we'll go into some fine details that the reporter highlighted. So Vice President Harris said she would encourage innovative technologies like AI and digital assets while protecting our consumers and investors as president during comments made at a Wall Street fundraiser, according to a Bloomberg reporter present. Reuters also reported today that the Harris campaign plans to unveil new economic policies this upcoming week. So we could see an updated version of her policy, and it may include crypto. Now, I know some of the Trump supporters are going to get triggered and I'm going to get a bunch of hateful comments, but I will state my stance for the millionth time. I am not telling you to go vote for Kamala Harris. The point is, I want to take crypto off the table of the election because crypto needs bipartisan support, both Democrats and Republicans, to get legislation through the Senate. And then obviously we need a president to support it. So far this year, we saw a lot of Democrats turn their back on Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler and work with the Republicans to pass crypto legislation out of the House, as well as repeal SOB 121. You have Chuck Schumer and some other big Democrats who are supporting this. So once again, I want to make crypto bipartisan. So Kamala Harris coming out and saying, hey, I support crypto, I think is very good, and it bodes well for the legislation that's needed and the adoption of this technology, because you can't just have one party supporting this asset class. Now, I know Elizabeth Warren made it political and she formed the anti-crypto army, so we have to fight back and we have to hold Kamala Harris accountable, because this has been happening under Joe Biden's presidency and Kamala Harris has been vice president, right? Let's keep it real. But my hope is that they can turn a new leaf here and do things right. And I want to get it off the ballot, folks. You guys can vote for every other issue and so on and so forth. But from a crypto standpoint, I'm trying to get it off the ballot. So please understand where I'm coming from. I am not saying go vote for Kamala Harris. I'm simply saying let's put the pressure on so we can get crypto legislation through, because once again, you need both parties, and this will open up more capital to come into the market. That's the end goal for me. Once again, there are other issues in this election that you can go vote on and vote for who you want, because you are adults. I'm not here to tell you who to vote for. You're not children. So keeping it 100% real with you guys. So the reporter, her name is Jennifer Epstein, and she tweeted out Kamala Harris's full comments. And she says here are her first comments on crypto as a Democrat nominee. To build that opportunity economy, I will bring together labor, small businesses, founders and innovators, and major companies. We will partner together to invest in America's competitiveness, to invest in America's future. We will encourage innovative technologies like AI and digital assets while protecting consumers and investors. We will create a safe business environment with consistent and transparent rules of the road. Very encouraging, but as I've been saying, show me, don't tell me, because Gensler and Elizabeth Warren are still on the loose. So guys, you know I keep it real here. I put my political ideologies and favoritism and candidates to the side, and I keep it real here. I need to see action, because right now Donald Trump has taken more action than Kamala Harris. I know under his tenure as a president, he was anti-crypto, but I think he has since educated himself, understood that this technology is here to stay. I've watched him say different things in different places. Even at the World Economic Forum, I've heard him talk about technology like this, and he's doing a lot more. But Kamala Harris, nothing. This one comment, fine. This is good. It's positive, but we need to see action. Now, to add some context to this, why do you think this came up at this fundraiser? Wall Street is here, right? BlackRock, Fidelity, and so forth. They are heavily invested in crypto and AI. They're building products, ETFs, they're tokenizing. So she has to recognize that this technology is relevant and it's here to stay. Plus, if you're looking for funds, if you're going to be anti-crypto, a big part of what Wall Street is investing in to make money, you're shooting yourself in the foot. So I think this may be a wake-up call for her, right? That in this room, and Wall Street has a lot of money, they do a lot of campaign donations, you better start endorsing crypto. You better start embracing crypto, but we need to see more. So very big news, my friends. Now, here's what folks in the industry are saying. Jake Traversky, who's a really well-known legal expert in the crypto industry, said, this is progress and progress is good, but while protecting our consumers and investors could mean a lot of things, the anti-crypto army uses consumer protection as a smokescreen to conceal their attempts to destroy our industry. I, for one, want to see policy details. Bam, spot on. This is exactly how I feel. Show me, don't tell me. You can say anything, but I need to see action. And as I mentioned earlier, Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler have been running amok under this administration, which is Kamala Harris is a part of. Here's what Faryar Shirzad of Coinbase said. I had him on the podcast a couple of times. He said, this is an important and constructive statement from Kamala Harris. It's not nearly as forward-leaning as the concrete and visionary positions taken by Donald Trump, but it's still notable because, one, she recognizes digital asset innovation as being important and on par with AI. She understands that there's a path that promotes innovation while protecting consumers and investors. And third, her statement comes after weeks of outreach by her inner circle who are thoughtful and open-minded on crypto. So there's been a lot of events, even some bipartisan events. There was one this week with Stand With Crypto, Patrick McHenry, who's a Republican, Wiley Nickel, who's a Democrat, and they had the chain smokers and those folks there. So you're seeing on the congressional level, there is bipartisan support. So guys, eventually both parties will 100% support this asset class. We will be in the clear. We'll get the regulations, but we got to keep putting the pressure. Once again, you don't have to love Kamala Harris. You don't have to be voting for her, but you want to at least put the pressure to get Democrats to support this thing so that we can get legislation through and more capital can come into the market. That's the end goal, and not to make this a election issue. And that's not to take away anything from Donald Trump. I give a whole bunch of credit to Donald Trump. He shifted crypto's political Overton window. And I'm actually going to be doing a mini documentary on that very soon. So big credit to Donald Trump, of course. But at the end of the day, guys, the end goal, more capital, more clarity for entrepreneurs and investors. Now, check this out, guys. Dan Tapiero, who's a big time fund manager, I've had him on the podcast a few times. He says, landmark day for Ledger. And why did he say that? He tweeted out a full page ad in the New York Times that is from Ledger. That's amazing, right? In the New York Times. And obviously they highlight that you can store your crypto with them and safely do it and so forth. Guys, crypto is going mainstream. And the fact that you have a Ledger hardware wallet ad in a full page in the New York Times is very bullish in my opinion. Now, US Bitcoin ETFs see inflows worth $92 million. So on Friday, we get information that the exchange-traded funds saw net inflows of $92 million, and this was spread across the 7 funds. That's good. We're seeing positive inflows. I think this is the second week or third week in a row that we were seeing positive inflows, so that's good. No negative. I think people are starting to get bullish, after the Fed rate cuts and much more. Bitcoin looks like it's very close to bottoming out. So we do have to be patient. As we've been talking about, September is a red month, but October is coming. Q4 is usually very good seasonality wise. Now, there's no guarantees, but using the technicals, the fundamentals, and the macro, that is what we're seeing right now. Now, quick word from our sponsor, and that is VeChain, which is one of the top layer 1 enterprise blockchains out there, guys. VeChain is huge. They're getting massive adoption from many big brands and institutions. Many of these companies are using VeChain to build Web3 applications, decentralized app ecosystems, and much more. Some of the great benefits of the VeChain blockchain include it is secure, affordable, scalable, fast, and sustainable. Some of the brands working with VeChain include Givenchy, BMW, Walmart China, PwC. That's one of the top 4 accounting firms in the world. Sam's Club, So I've been a VET token holder for many years, guys. I believe in this project. It's one of my biggest holdings. So I put my money where my mouth is. So I believe in this project. So if you'd like to learn more about VeChain, go to vchain.org. Link will be in the description. Now we got news that crypto VCs are on a funding spree, and they're raising lots of capital, guys. So let me give you the details. Crypto VCs have raised over $2.2 billion in new capital through closed funds this year as of August. According to PitchBook data, in the last few weeks alone, at least half a dozen VCs have collectively raised over $500 million. Notable examples include Parify Capital's $120 million fund, Borderless Capital's $100 million fund, Hack VC's $77 million fund, and Robot Ventures' $75 million fund. Additionally, several funds are actively seeking new capital this year, with Dragonfly Capital reportedly aiming for $500 million and already raising half of that amount. This is very bullish. This is liquidity that's going to be put into the market. Now, not all of it is going to go to coins. Some of it's going to go to infrastructure companies, right? They're going to get equity, private equity, and so forth. But the point is, these companies, these funds are bullish. They're not seeing a bear market like some people are calling, oh, the bull market's over, everything's over. No, there's cycles playing out here in the micro, but when you look at the macro, we're on track to new all-time highs. And this is a very good sign that the market's maturing, that there's demand, there's interest, people see what's on the horizon, and they're putting more capital into it. And this is obviously just this year. Over the years, there's been tons of funds. A16Z has raised billions and many other funds, guys. It's pretty incredible stuff. So very bullish news. And you want to watch what these VCs are doing, which projects they're investing in, which tokens they're putting in their money into, because that could be an indication. It's not a guarantee, but an indication of how that token may perform. We've seen that time and time again. Now, guys, on Friday, I told you about the SEC approving the Bitcoin ETF options for BlackRock's ETF, and that's very bullish. I'm going to try to get Nate Geraci of the ETF store on this week to talk about it, but he shared some additional thoughts that I want to highlight here. He says, so once options trading on spot Bitcoin ETF commences, expect a flurry of various ETF filings, Bitcoin buffer or defined outcome ETFs, Bitcoin premium income or yield max covered call ETFs, Bitcoin tail risk ETFs, Bitcoin convexity ETFs, all of it. Now, I don't know what the hell some of these are, so that's what I'm going to get Nate on. But the point is, guys, we're heading to higher highs, and this is going to usher in more liquidity, more institutional investors, and all of that is very bullish for this asset class. So that's why I'm sharing with you. That's why I'm excited. And the bull market's not over yet, guys. Now, Fred Thiel, who's the CEO of Marathon Digital, which is one of the biggest Bitcoin miners out there, he says, the more entrenched Bitcoin becomes in the financial system, the better. Now we need the SEC to exempt all federally chartered banks from SOB 121, and then things will really accelerate. BNY Mellon is a New York chartered bank and is exempted. Hopefully more will follow. So he retweeted the news about the options, and he said, you know, obviously the next big phase would be these banks being able to custody crypto. I believe they will eventually. The SEC is going to fold. SOB 121 was called out by the Government Accountability Office as being unlawful. It got repealed by Republicans and Democrats in the House and Senate, but Biden, who probably got the call from Elizabeth Warren, vetoed that repeal. So, guys, we're winning. The pressure is on the anti-crypto army. A lot of people are leaving that army. We've seen people back out of bills who are aligned with Elizabeth Warren. We see many of them are losing in the elections. So we're going to get there, and we just got to keep putting the pressure and fighting. Now, Coinbase announced its plan to bring cbBTC to Solana's network. So this is Coinbase's wrapped Bitcoin derivative. So they're planning to expand this to Solana's network. And there's no specific date, but pretty big for Solana, and obviously what Coinbase is doing here. I think Coinbase is making the right moves. You know, Base was a massive hit for them, generating a ton of revenue. And I think the derivative of Bitcoin here opens up a lot of DeFi options for Bitcoin, which, you know, obviously is very good for the adoption and continued use and liquidity and all these things. Now, we got news here that Plume Network says it's tokenizing over $1 billion in real-world assets like solar farms, Medicaid claims, and mineral rights. Folks, I know I sound like a broken record, but I've been telling you all for years, we're headed to the token economy. Everything running on the blockchain 24/7, markets open 365 days of the year. No more opening and closing bell. No more markets closed on weekends. It's going to be a truly global marketplace, and it's exciting what's taking place. So Plume Network plans to have about $1.25 billion of real-world assets tokenized by the fourth quarter. Token holders will be able to earn a yield on different assets, and that's including what I mentioned before, mineral rights, solar farms, and Medicaid claims. So incredible stuff, folks. Very, very bullish. Final news item here. Travala expands booking support to Solana-based assets, offers Sol travel rewards. So Travala has integrated with Solana, expanding cryptocurrency booking support beyond Ethereum and the BNB chain. Travala's token is also being deployed on Solana, and the platform will offer Sol trade rewards alongside Bitcoin and AVA. Incredible adoption, and you're going to see more and more of this as businesses go full on Web3 and understand the benefits of token and token rewards and what you can do with that, and to help keep customers around. Because if you offer, token rewards and so forth, there's real monetary value there versus just rewards that may be just limited to certain benefits, while tokens have a lot of benefits, right? Staking, obviously the value can go up and all these different things. So really exciting stuff, folks. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Don't forget to sign up for my free email newsletter on Substack. It's 100% free, filled with crypto insights and knowledge. And don't forget to grab a copy of my book, Rethinking Crypto. It's available on Amazon in paperback and digital. Grab a copy to support the podcast. Grab a few copies for your friends and family. Give them as gifts this holiday. Help them to learn about crypto as we head deeper into the bull market, and they can be knowledgeable about this asset class versus being part of the dumb money crowd, right? Part of the herd. And if you bought a copy already, guys, please, please, please leave a rating and review on Amazon. It will really help me out. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.